girl, Markeita Williams. I know you guys are having a fantastic day on today. I know you are listening to my praise party song. Blow your horn, get your praise party on. I know you're doing it for Jesus, fam. Lift up, family. I have with me the one and the only Bishop Charles H. Ellis III. How are you, Bishop?
I'm fine, Markeita. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, great. I'm so happy to have you on. You know,
hey, you got some. hey, girl, you got some pipes on you.
Oh, well, hey, don't make me show out.
Go on and do what you do. Ain't nothing wrong with being multi-talented.
Oh, yes, definitely. Speaking of multi-talented, you're a preacher, you're an author, you're a presiding bishop of the Pentecostal Assemblies of the World. Bishop, you've just got everything going on. Tell us about your ministry.
God has been good to me, and he's given me the ability to have what I call capacity. He gave one 5 talents, he gave one 2, and he gave one 1. And nobody was better than anybody else. He just gave everybody what he thought they could handle and expected them to do something with it. So I say to my church all the time, don't get jealous of anybody's capacity, because to whom much is given, much is required. So if God has given you one thing to do, do it to the best of your ability.
Awesome. So how did you come to this place? You say you're multi-talented and you got all of these things going. And, I mean, you are such a pillar there in the Detroit area. I mean, how did you come to this place in ministry?
Well, I'm third-generation Pentecostal pastor. My grandfather, who I'm named after, he founded a church in 1934 in Chicago, Illinois. It's a tremendous church to this day, Indiana Avenue Pentecostal Church of God at 35th and Indiana. He founded in 34. He was born in 1900, made his transition in 1953 of a heart attack. So my dad was only 18 years old, so I never knew the man that I'm named after. I've got one audio recording. He was a tremendous man of God and preacher. And my dad went into ministry at 18 years old and married shortly after my grandfather's demise. And he became a very popular preacher in the Pentecostal Assemblies of the World, youth president and all of that. And came to Detroit in 62 to take over a failing church, and God blessed him tremendously. And I thank God for being up under his pastorate for 34 years. I learned so much that has blessed me to this day.
Awesome. It's always good to have leaders and people that you can follow after and that have, kind of paved the way, and it makes it a little easier. So what would you say to young ministers that are coming up in this day and time, that don't maybe have that father that was there as a pastor or someone's footsteps to follow in? What would you say to those ministers that are coming up?
I would say to them, be very careful, when you want to be too independent. Independence has its place, but there's nothing like having somebody who can blaze the trail for you and somebody that you can go to in times of need. I believe that God always prepares a generation to leave a legacy to another generation, and all of the experiences that I have gone through, I don't believe that I've gone through that just to take it to my grave, but I believe that everything that I have experienced, God has blessed me to experience that, to share with somebody else to help them along their journey. And God forbid you have individuals that say, I don't need anybody. Nobody can tell me anything. That's a dangerous posture to take. So I would say if you don't have a father, find a father. There's nothing like a father.
Right. Awesome. And you've got so many things going on. I know you've got so many things under your belt. What's next for you? I know there's always something that's next with ministers and bishops and pastors and leaders. So what's next for Bishop Charles H. Ellis III?
Wow, that's a great question, because I'm 59 years old. This is my 7th year as presiding bishop of the Pentecostal Assemblies of the World, and next year it'll be my final year. So at 60 years old, I'll be done being a presiding bishop. And the 2 assistants behind me, I think one is maybe in his late 70s, one is in his middle 70s. So I've been blessed to come into this leadership position at a young age. And people are asking, hey, man, what are you going to do? Because you're still a young guy. and you've got so much energy left over. Sometimes, when you get done at this place with this kind of organization, time is behind you, and you're looking at playing golf and just enjoying the grandkids. Well, my daughter, 27, has brought me nothing, and my son, 25, they're not thinking about marriage, so I got to find something to do. But I've got a church that is waiting for me to come back full time without all these other, responsibilities, traveling around the world and all of that. So I'm sure Greater Grace will have a lot on my plate for me to do.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I mean, congratulations, and I'm sure that you're going to be passing the torch on to another worthy leader for the PAW.
Absolutely, and I'm excited for that time.
Awesome. One more question I've got for you, Bishop. You're an author, so what book are you promoting now? I know a lot of bishops and leaders and people that are in the industry, gospel industry, have books that they're putting out there, and it's good resources. So what is your latest resource that you've shared with the nation?
Well, I've got 5 books. I wrote God's Grace, What a Privilege, and that was a book that dealt with the depths of the grace of God. And then I wrote one in memory of my dad. It's called Things My Father Used to Say, and it's a lot of quotes of my father and the explanation of those quotes. Then I came out with an inspirational book. It's not a Jesus. I actually put together some podcast messages that was requested by the Smooth Jazz station in Detroit, Michigan. And I looked at those podcast messages and read them. And I said, wow, I can put this in book form. So I did that, and I called it Wisdom for Life's Journey. So it's a lot of things, and it certainly has a spiritual flavor, but it's talking about things about, having a destiny, staying focused, becoming more disciplined, and all of those different things that help to make you a great person, whether you're religious or not, or spiritual or not. Then what I'm doing now, Markeita, is I'm dealing with, I'm putting together a 7-series children's book. My first one is entitled Never Is Not in My Vocabulary. And then the second one that I put together was called A Recipe for Success. And now I am on my 3rd book and hope to have it out before the end of this year. There are cartoon caricatures of me and children, diverse group of children, and it's just taking them through an easy read book, helping them to understand the importance of never saying never and knowing that you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. And a recipe for success is talking about those things that are needed to have good success as a young person.
Awesome. I love it. So how can my listening audience go and purchase your books that you got out already and look for the ones that are coming out next?
They can go on my website at greatergrace.org. greatergrace.org, and we have an online bookstore that has all of my product along with a lot of our illustrated sermons, the Hell and Back, the Whip, Hammer, and Cross, the Awakening, and Still I Rise. I've got a ton, maybe 15, 16, 20 illustrated sermons on there, which is a sermon and a drama mixed together. So there's a lot of product that will really bless your listening audience. greatergrace.org is the web address.
Well, you heard it, everybody. Go and get the books and the podcast and all of the information and videos today at greatergrace.org. Bishop, I'm just going to leave it open to you. Do you have anything that you would like to share with my listening audience while we've got you here on the line?
Yes, ma'am. I would like to say that this is an exciting time for the people of God, and I would just hope that we are not like the man that buried his talent, waiting on the master to do something that the master put in his hands to do. I say to Greater Grace, and I would like to encourage your listening audience, this is a time for you to seize your dream, your vision, your God-given destiny. Don't lose sight. Don't worry about what's going on in this world. Listen, the world has gone crazy. Lou Rawls saying, what's the matter with the world? Has the world gone mad? Yes, it is. But it's the people but it's not the world, it's the people that's within it. So you make sure that you're not one of those people. You make sure that you're not one of those statistics. And I will say to you, sometimes you say you're waiting on God. Sometimes God is waiting on you. So listen, do what you can, because the Lord is not going to do for you what you can do for yourself. So wake up, get up, and make it happen.
Awesome. You heard it from the Bishop himself. Go and check out greatergrace.org. Bishop Charles H. Ellis III